Hi, today is March what? 20th, 2019. And if you're watching this at any other time, just know that it is an upload. Hi, Christine. I forgot to get my piece that goes behind my back here to get it so I'm not in the ceiling. Not better, but better than it was. Let me also put this on my phone. Hey, we got 19 people. I realized that I don't have a topic today because we got kicked out last week when I had storms in the area, so I got kicked out of the live viewing. So we don't even have a topic. Let's see, I got June Hanson has commented on my post in Facebook. Let's see which one. Oh, she's commented on Rita's quilt. Okay. So I am actually like really tired today. I had a lecture today that was at the St. Clair Peacemakers Quilt Guild, and that is about an hour and about an hour 15-minute drive in regular traffic. And today rush hour traffic was bad this morning, so it ended up being like an hour 45 minutes. And I did not sleep good last night for some reason. I was just wide awake thinking about the lecture I had today. But I had a great lecture. Just tired because I didn't sleep good last night. So after I get through with this live, I am going to bed. I told you all that March and April were going to be some of my busiest months. So just been real busy with various things going on. So that's where I'm at this point. So let me go ahead and go through the chat box. I already said hi to Christine. She says hi T and T Quilters. We got Mary Smith. She says hi T and everyone from Brooklyn. Hi Mary. Cheryl Land is here. She says hey T. Hi Cheryl. And Phyllis Gardner says hi T and everyone. June Hanson says hi Miss T and everyone. Shrivia Henderson says hi T and quilt friends. Sonata Rodriguez says hi T. Hello. Patricia Whipple says hi T and everyone. Diane 57 says hi, I made it. Elaine Reese or Weiss, I don't know which one it is, says hi T, hi. Mary Lee Blackwell says hi everyone. Rita Whitney says hi T and group. Sarah Ragland says hi T and everyone. And I got my brother here. He says, hey sis, I'm here. Thought you weren't coming on for a minute. Just late again. Just things are happening, you know. Honor Safar says hello from Ohio. And Elaine says she's from Brazil. Thank you so much. Claudette Bettis is here. She says hi to everyone from rainy Anaheim, California. Francesca Alfino says hello to everyone. Hi, Francesca. Quilt Club is this Saturday. Scrap Quilting Club. Hope you can make it. Don Cunningham say, hey everyone, is today first day of spring or tomorrow? I think today is Sandra Weston is here. She says, hi, 10, everyone. And then we got Kathy Mitchell. She says, I love your Harley t-shirts tutorial. I started my t-shirt quilt. Hope it is as pretty as yours. Thank you so much. I was just talking about the Harley quilt today at my lecture where at the meeting that I went to, the Guild. One of the ladies have somebody that wanted her to do finish some quilts that either she or someone in her family started. And it was a lot of work that they were asking of her. And I was asking her if she had really priced her work to be paid, or do the people really understand that what they're asking is a lot of work. So thank you so much. We were just talking about that quilt. Kathy Galen is here. She says, hi from Maryland. Hi, Kathy. And Sonata is answering the question about spring, which is today. June Hansen saying flooding is better. We got one major road open, so that helps. 2 are still closed. We had to go 16 miles to get across town. It's been a mess. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that's pretty dangerous because sometimes you don't even realize the floodwaters are as deep as they are. So I hope everything's working out for you personally. Darlene Former is here. She says, greetings from Northern Virginia. Melanie D says, hi, T and all from North Carolina. Hi, Melanie. And Rita Whitney is here. She says, T, go get you some rest. Yeah, I'll probably end up being slap happy before this hour is over with. Slowing down Joe, she says, hi, T from Joe in Aloha, Oregon. And Frances said, T, great color on your t-shirt. Thank you so much. And I happen to have on this t-shirt, and you know, I found some ladies V-necks in this t-shirt, but they only had them, I can't remember, I don't want to be misquoted, but I think medium, large, and extra large is what I have. So I found a few of them. And I actually, thinking of t-shirts and colors and sizes, I just ordered some 2XLs and 3XLs in like lime green, this pink, and these are unisex pink. I ordered some more black because I ran out of black in those sizes. A royal blue. So I have been trying to get more colors in the larger sizes so that they're just not all black. When I first started out with my first order, you know, you can't order everything in every size. And today when I went to St. Clair, it let me know that I do need a lot more of the larger sizes because I had to take orders for shirts and then I'm mailing them back, which is a great problem to have. But I don't have a whole lot of large sizes in my stash because I felt like they were going to be hard to sell. But a lot of people like to buy their shirts oversized and then they hang down. Like this shirt here, I actually bought in a 2XL, and it's pretty big. So I like it because if I'm wearing leggings, then it will go all the way past my butt cheeks. And a lot of people are liking to have the shirts oversized. So I just ordered some more of those today. They should be here. Some of them will be here tomorrow. Some of them may be Friday or Saturday. So we've got Pamela Tabor. She says, hello, everyone. Hi, Pamela. And June says, personally, I was fine. Just hard to get places. Love all your shirts. Thank you so much. And Sonata says it's just raining where she is and finally caught her live. Slowing Down Joe says long sleeves. I don't personally have any long sleeves yet because I just couldn't even go into that investment. When you first start out, you have to kind of go with what the mass want. And a lot of people will put a long sleeve shirt underneath their short sleeves. And then that way they don't have to buy the long sleeves. And the long sleeve shirts are so expensive. You just can't, I can't even get reasonable price that I can even push back and give to the customer right now. And I do order in bulk, like when I ordered let me see. My computer is not even the screensaver is on because I wasn't here, so it's not on. But I just ordered, say, 95 shirts today. So I do order in bulk, and when I ordered the first time, I may have ordered 200 shirts. So I try to order whatever shirts they have on sale, because me being a small business, I don't get as big of a discount as if I'm a store that's ordering those shirts, like, say, Joann's. But I also buy a higher grade of material than the ones that Joann sells as well. You got Gildan shirts come in so many different ounces as far as weight. So no long sleeves right now. Rhonda Barlow is here. She says, hello, everyone. Sonata said, what does the front of your shirt say? It says, established 1994, Teaquilts in the middle. And then it says Scrap Queen. And what I like to tell people is to utilize your scraps. And then on the back, I just have my website that I have on the back of my shirts. This is only on the back of my shirts, and they're not on everyone else's shirts. Diane says, I love the white shirts. I'm trying to figure out which white shirts. I think I only showed one. I can't remember what other white shirt I've made. That I've shown you, because I got so much going on. I'm at this point where I'm doing creative things, trying to figure out what it is that I'm going to sell, because at my quilt show in September, I plan to have shirts for sale, and then people can pick, kind of pick what they want to put on it to a certain extent. And so I just been like coming up with ideas, and I might just make one shirt. So I haven't really gotten into production mode on a lot of the patterns. I've gone into production on I'm a Missouri quilter and the Be Scrappy. I have those like produced. And I have so many other shirts that I've been working on that aren't ready. I even had somebody ask me about a shirt that I showed you all last week, seeing if they could order it for somebody. But so yeah, so if you see something you like and I haven't put the price out there yet, you can get it. The reason why a lot of these are not on my website is because you can pick colors sometimes. And so what I need to do is do a video on t-shirts, and there's no way that I can put on my website the colors you can choose from, the designs you can choose from, and things like that. And then the prices are all so different from one shirt to the next, depending on the type of product that's being used. So it's very confusing. So that's why I've just been making stuff, and then I would bag it and get the price tags on it. And Mary is talking about the one with the gold Bible verse. Yes, and I just had somebody email me about that one today. And it is for sale. It's just that I don't have any of them made up. But I will make them. If somebody wants them, you can just email me. And my email is teaquilts@teaquilts.com. So, we got Rhonda saying hello to everyone. Barlow. Make sure. And Sonata is asking how much are your t-shirts. It depends. This shirt, I just got a few of them left in the purple. This one's pink. And I only got in select size. My actual tea gear is on my website at www.teaquilts.com. And those shirts are there in the sizes that I have are there. Except that I think I sold a 2XL today, so it may not be another 2XL. But my website should have those there. And if I don't have the size, then I'll just refund it back. But I've been trying to update my website as I sell things. But I did sell some stuff today, but I did not mark it off. So I need to recheck that. This shirt that I have on is $15. The tea gear that's in gold, which I don't have any of this stuff here. My room is also a mess. Hold on for a second. I don't even know if all of the shirts are even in this box, but let's see. Since I don't have any topics today, if you all have questions you want to ask about any of the quilt topics, go ahead and ask. If you want to ask some personal questions, you can ask those too. If I don't want to answer, I'll tell you. I'm trying to get them sorted by subject. And I'm not going to take them out the bag, so you're not going to be able to see the whole entire shirts because these are packaged ready to be sold. This is the I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This shirt is white and it has metallic gold. It is, if I'm not mistaken, $18 for size up to XL. Any size that in price I give you, it will be $5 more for 2XL and up because those shirts cost more money. So this one I think is $18. My brother just ordered 2 of these. My brother Ray, thank you so much for your order, sir. He ordered 2 of these, one for him and his wife. And they ordered this in black. On his shirt, I used this flat. No, this is the sparkly gold. Metallic gold. And then on his wife's, they both got black shirts. And then I used pink on hers. So see, you have some choices. And that's my dilemma. Is do I just put the shirt out there and not give people choices, or do I give you choices? And that's why these things are not on my website. This one says, this one's priced wrong. It says 16, but it's 18 because it takes a whole sheet of foil. My Teaquilts tea gear is 16 because it doesn't take as much product. So I got this one priced wrong. I see it says 16, so have to fix that one. And then on my tea gear, you all know that it comes in black. And see, it doesn't take as much product and weeding time as the one that I just showed you. So this one is 16 up to size XL at $5. And then you can also get this in a V-neck by adding $5 up to size XL. I think I have medium, large, and XL. Those are the only ladies V's I have. And then I have them in this pink, which is called Haconia pink, and then I've got them in black. But if you're local, I've been showing people the tea gear in other colors. This is a pink, and it's a different color pink than the one that I have on. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. Yes, it is. So that's pink. And then I also have this shirt in, I think this color is sapphire blue. Tea gear. Those are still all $16, but you can choose your back color because I do realize that everybody don't like black shirts. In the tea gear shirt that I have on, that's pink. This is Haconia pink, but I only have it in purple and white. The only sizes I have, 3XL is $20. I have 2 mediums. No, I have 3 mediums that are $15. So this is the medium, $15. This is the other medium. And then this is another black tea gear sparkle. Okay. I hope you all are remembering this because I'm just going to run through them and then I'll go back to the comment section. I only got about 4 or 5 more that are in this box that I can show you because a lot of them were sold today at the, I just put some on shirts and a lot of them were sold today. I have red and black metallic foil. These are $16. And it's on this, it says, I quilt so I won't kill people. Silver metallic foil on both of these. Black or red. Both of them are $16. You can get them in the black or red, any size. Well, I don't have red. I might have a couple of red shirts coming that are 2XL and 3XL. And then in this shirt, I don't have the larger sizes. It's, I just want to make quilts. So just different fonts. So I just is up here, want to make quilts. This one's $20 because it takes a full sheet of vinyl and then the actual time it takes to do the weeding on this patchwork font. This is like a heather sapphire or something. I don't know what this color is called, but it's kind of a heather color. But again, if you are knowing what you want and you want a different color, I can look to see if I have a different color. This is a Missouri Quilter shirt. I only got them left in these two different color of blues, because I sold all the ones where I have the black background, and I actually am in the process of making more because I sold out of these today. The last one goes on a shirt that I'm waiting to come back, so I have to start making more of these. Sold all the black ones. All I have is blue, but that doesn't mean you can't order it in black still. And then if you live in another state, you'll have to email me and let me know what you want, what state you're in, and I can send you a proof before I make your shirt. And those shirts are $20 because of this weeding again. Plus it takes a full sheet and it's a 2-color print. So that's why that one costs more. The Be Scrappy quilt. This originally came out in black. And it is $20. And the reason why it's $20 is because I have to use patterned heat transfer vinyl, which is called HTV, and it costs more money, so I have to pay different for the pattern transfer. So this shirt costs more because of that. Plus it's a two-tone and it's got a pair of scissors that goes through. Some of them might have where the scissors, and it says don't worry, be scrappy. So this is don't worry, has a sewing machine with scissors, and then underneath it says be scrappy. And sometimes the don't worry might be in a solid and the scissors and the be scrappy will be in a print. That comes in black. And then I got different patterns of vinyl. I may not have the same print all the time, but I will, if you're asking for something that's different, tell me what shirt color, and then I'll show you what I think would look good on that. That's how I kind of been handling that. And then this one says, she works with her hands in delight. And it's a proverb saying, chapter 31, verse 13. It's cut into the sewing machine. She works with her hands in delight. This is on a pink with black. And then this other one says, I heart to quilt. So I is over here, heart to, and quilt. This shirt is $16, and it's because normally it would be $15, but because of the patterned vinyl on the heart, then I'm just adding one other $1. And again, if your sizes are plus sizes, then it would be additional $5. If you want a V-neck, I think it's additional $3 for V-neck. I have to look on my website. I haven't sold a lot of V-neck shirts. I only sold one so far. That's it, I think. Let me make sure. Let me look in the comments and make sure everything's going on well here. Welcome some people that are just coming on, wanting to know what in the world am I doing. Diane saying, she laughing out loud, she just got her notice to come join Teaquilts. Bonita Nance is here. She says, hello, Miss T and everyone. Nice t-shirt. Thank you so much. I don't know which one by now. Okay, so she's talking about the spiritual shirt too. Diane 57, as well as Mary Smith. Dewana Montreal is here. Hi, welcome. She says, hi, T and everyone. Vicky Lemire says hello. Hi, Vicky. Lisa Thompson, my niece, is here. She's saying hi, Auntie. Anna Safar's here. Oh, her message was retracted. I'm sorry. She's been here. Sandra Covens is waving at everybody. Anna says, do you recommend joining a quilt guild? Yes, I do. And I think I did a video on that because I kept getting asked questions about that. So you can Google that. But there are so many benefits to joining a quilt guild. And I'm not going to go into them here because I do have a whole entire video. But to answer your question, yes, I absolutely do suggest everybody join at least one guild. And I know that a lot of people say some of the guilds aren't friendly. My personal take on that, when you're new, I'm just going to say quilt guild meetings are not where you go to socialize with quilters. There are so many things that have to get done within those 2 to 3 hours that they meet. And so people may seem unfriendly. I'm not going to say that all guilds are unfriendly. I'm not going to say that some people are not unfriendly, because it all depends. But if you meet another person in a guild, then you might meet the person who is friendly. But I think when a new person comes into a quilt guild, it can seem that that guild is standoffish. And that's because everybody kind of has a task or an assignment, and people are trying to get these things done. They're trying to get all the contact information from, say, if it's a quilt show going on and people are turning in forms to submit their quilts, they're trying to get their tasks and jobs done. So you may be overlooked at a meeting. But a lot of guilds have breakout sessions. And at those breakout sessions is when it's really time to get to know people. So it just depends on what's going on. And never let anyone tell you where you can't be because of how they're behaving. That's my other tip as well. Remo JS is here, says hello T. Hello, welcome. Leetta Bryan is here. She says hi T and everyone. Hi Leetta. I'll be seeing you Saturday. Darlene Farmer says, oh, she's talking to Orna. She says, I just joined a guild this year, first time becoming a member of a guild. Yes, and the reason, another main reason to join a guild is just popping in my head is that quilt show. Where else can you put your work on display gallery style without you having to personally spend a lot of money? Most guilds have quilt shows, so make sure you join a guild that has quilt shows. Vicky says she's made pumpkin bars and blueberry bars. Woohoo! She's over there cooking, y'all. We got to go to Vicky's house. Darlene says, I joined for the training and classes, and that's another good reason. Sometimes guilds will have classes, and like I said, that's what's considered one of your breakout sessions, and that's where you can get to know more people, and you can also get to take classes. And then at most guilds will have their classes a different price for members as compared to somebody coming that's a non-member. So that's also a good thing. And then guilds hire outside speakers too. You might meet a national speaker like Bonnie Hunter before she retires from doing lectures. I know she's getting close to the end of that. So yes. Pat Moffat says, are the only V-necks black ones? I have V-necks that are this color that I have on, the Heconia pink. I have, I only found a few. I might have a couple of medium, large, and X large. Rita says, y'all gotta go. Been sick, but hugs to you all. Gotta rest. Good night, Rita. Hope you feel better. Carolyn says, hi T, the shirts are looking good. I'm going to have to buy another one. I love them. Thank you so much. And how about Ali says, I like to quilt so I don't kill. Laughing out loud. I saw that on like one of the You know how on Facebook you can like type stuff and it'll put one of those colorful backgrounds? That's how I saw that. And I go, that'd be cute on a shirt. Darlene Former's telling Rita to take care. Sonata says, I made lemon squares for the first time but didn't like them. You know what? I like lemon water, but I don't like lemon like filling desserts. And so I'm not a fan of it. I don't know why. It's a texture thing. I do know why. It's texture based. So I have issues with certain types of textures. Carolyn says, I never thought of joining a guild in the way you express the thoughts on them. I do need to find one. Don says, Pat Moffat is here. I don't remember saying her name, but she's here. Don Cunningham says, when you're in a guild and they have a show, does your quilt have to have certain standards for it to show? For example, beginner quilter. What if stitches aren't same length? That's the beauty of a quilt show. It represents everybody in that quilt guild. And you don't have to have a show quality quilt. That's why for a beginner, you wouldn't probably never get your quilt submitted into a national quilt show. Although if you came out the gate and you were just perfect on everything, and maybe you were lucky and got accepted that way. But that's the beauty of a local quilt show, is that everybody that's a member of that guild, their body of work is allowed to be shown. And some guilds, if they're small, they would even take outside members' quilts just to make their quilt show a lot bigger. So you might want to look into that as well. I don't tend to put quilts into other shows. I used to years ago, but it's a lot of work for me to go pick up because most of the time they're not close to my house. So by the time I drop off my quilt, then I go visit the show, and then I got to go back and pick my quilt up. It's 3 trips, and some of them could be, you know, up to an hour or so away. So I don't tend to do that. Got my phone acting crazy. It won't rotate back up now. So no requirements. You just do what you want to do. You submit what you want to submit. Most of them have like a description area where you can put your story about your quilt. Maybe it's your first quilt and you decided to make this first quilt because you were having a baby. It doesn't, you know, it may not look pretty, but that's not the point. The point is to show the work that's representative of all the membership. And by the way, our quilt show is in September. I don't have a quilt show flyer here. I took them to my meetings, and I think they took them last week, and I didn't even realize that they were all gone today and didn't even have any. But our quilt show is in September. It's either the 3rd or 4th weekend. We had to move our date, so I'm thinking it's the 4th weekend, but I could be mistaken. And yeah, for those in the St. Louis area, we are at a different location this year too. Vicky says, lemon bars, bake dough and use the cooking lemon recipe, cool and put together. So they're asking her, I guess, about the recipe, somebody. Diane says, I joined a guild, gave it a year, didn't work out. Sonata go, yeah, me too. I'm thinking she's talking about Diane. And Vicky says, Diane is spoiling hubby. Teresa Connor says, didn't enjoy guild. I'm glad that your guild is supportive. I didn't say my guild was supportive. and I don't know what you mean by supportive. I have a very active guild. We have about, I'm just going to guess what our membership is. I'm going to say it's about 80 to 90. And I've been in this guild since 1991. So I know quite a few people now. And I have some of them that are my personal friends. I even joined this guild with 2 of my personal friends. So I already had 2 friends walking in the door. So support, it depends on what you're looking for when you're talking about support. Because I'm not really close friends with, but about, I'm going to just guess and say like 5 members like that I would call on a regular basis, that's in that guild, and that includes the 2 members that I joined with. And the support is different. If I need some help with something, Or if somebody wants something from me, we're there to help each other. So if you're ever stumped, you've got a group of people that you can take something to, that they can actually see it in person and give you some advice, as compared to trying to send somebody a photo, or trying to get help online some kind of way. So it depends on what kind of support you're looking for. I think you can't mistake a guild for just automatically acquiring quilt friends. I'm not friends with everyone in the guild. Everyone in the guild knows who I am, but that doesn't mean that I got the personal support of every guild member. I don't have the support of the guild. I don't use the guild to go in and advertise my business either. Now I just go in and I wear my shirts. I don't have to say a word. But my guild does have a rule where we can submit one marketing item into our newsletter a year. I have never used it. So most of my stuff has been word of mouth. I don't do a whole lot of advertising. My website doesn't get me business. It's a place for me to tell people where to go to look at a body of my work. But it just depends on what you're looking for in a guild. Because like I said, people are so busy doing things that I don't know what kind of support you're going to get as a new member walking in. And then Diane is saying you can also put your quilt in the county fair show. That's correct. And I have never done that. Mine's is in Jefferson City, which is a 2-hour drive. I have never been to our county show, and I keep saying I'm going to go. And that's really sad, because I worked for the state for 30 years. And every time they had the show, it always was at a bad time in my life, because I could have volunteered as a state employee to work it as well. But because it was 2 hours away, it was just going to be a lot. And there were like certain things at work where I couldn't take off. And now my business life is just even worse than when I was working for somebody else. So it's just weird. But I've never been. I do want to go, and I do plan at some point to put a quilt in the county fair. Christine says, try to volunteer to help the guild by serving on a committee. That's great. The board, etc. I really got to meet some wonderful friends at the guild. And that's true too, because a lot of people, that's what I'm saying about support. Maybe what you need to do is come in and volunteer to work on charity quilts if you're into charity things, giving of your time, resources. Most guild stuff for the charity quilts is donated, but they might need people to help. Say they're making pillowcases for the year, and they want to make 100 pillowcases, or they're making Christmas stockings. And so being part of that committee, maybe your committee would be prepping those things that you're handing out to the main guild meetings, and keeping track of who has them and returning them. So you don't have to come in and be president, but you can come in and work on some committees, or work as a co-chair to a committee. You will learn a lot of people that way, because they all got to come to you, and most of them are going to speak and say, hello, how are you doing? And if they don't know you, what's your name? If they know somebody's in a position that they don't know, now they're going to get to know you, because you're going to be doing that job for a year or two. So great point. Let's see, who said that? Christine, thank you so much. Again, if you have any questions you want answered, go ahead and drop them in the chat box. Do not put them in the comment section, because I will not see them until this video ends, and you won't get answered until afterwards. So make sure you're putting your comment in the right place. Let's see. Teresa Connor is here. She says, the Sisters Oregon Quilt Show has been very accepting of my humble efforts, and I think they have provisions for returning quilts from long distances. It's a huge show. The whole town is covered in quilts. I'm thinking it must have stopped. I was trying to make sure she didn't start up again. But my city used to do that. We have a city called St. Charles, which is a historic area, has a main street, and we did that for maybe 6 to 8 years, and it was a lot of work. And then one year I think it rained, and so then it must have been something that happened, because all of a sudden the show stopped. So I done that for a while, and even volunteered to help like one of the quilt shops. I was working for one of the quilt shops, manning some of the quilts that were put out into an open area. So it's so many ways that you can get your work shown that you may not even be thinking about, and it doesn't matter on the quality. Trey Young is here. Hey, Trey, where you been? She says, hi, T and all. I'm loving the shirts. I'm looking forward to the quilt show in Charleston, South Carolina this year. It will be my first time. What are the do's and don'ts? Basically, you can go into there is a whole lot of do's and don'ts. Basically, you are attending a quilt show. The main do's and don'ts is you cannot bring in food and drink, which is normal because you wouldn't want somebody to spill a liquid onto your quilts. You can't touch the quilts. But if you want to see the back of a quilt or you want to see what somebody's label might look like, all you got to do is ask people that have on a white glove and they will happily turn the backs of the quilts for you. But you can't touch quilts. That's the main thing. And then just out of etiquette, you know, like when I do my quilt show videos, there are quilts that are reproductions, and I am not a reproductions lover, but I don't walk up to that quilt and go, oh my God, I can't stand the coloring in this quilt. There is something to be learned and taken from every quilt, and I try to do that in my commentaries. If you have listened to any of my quilt show videos, I go up on quilts and I'll show you, oh, this quilting is really pretty. It's not to say that I didn't like the rest of the quilt. I'm just trying to give you something positive to look at in a quilt. And I'm doing this so fast because I've got so many quilts to look at. But never walk up to a quilt and start criticizing a quilt no matter what type of work is in it. Because that person could be 2 or 3 feet away from you and you not even know that you are hurting somebody's feelings. So you never ever criticize a quilt. So those are just some etiquette things. I think they're more common sense, but I have heard it and seen it done where somebody's feelings got hurt because somebody was saying some negative things about their quilts. So sometimes we're not thinking and we just start giving our opinion that nobody asked us for. Yes, we all have opinions, but we also need to be adults and not intentionally hurt somebody's feelings as well. So you can always find something positive to say about every quilt, no matter what it looks like. And Teresa's telling Trey, lucky you. Oh, she's telling Cute Red Socks, Christine, lucky her. Eric is here finally. He says, I'm late to the party. Hey, hey, everyone. When he says, hey, hey, I just think about Fat Albert. Hey, hey, hey. It's Fat Albert. Woo! And I'm going to do a song for you. Told you I need a nap. Oh, God. Eric comes in here and he changes my whole chat box. And he says, what's tonight's topic? Whatever you want it to be. I realized last week we got kicked out and we didn't make a topic. And I'm trying to figure out today, like, what topic are we talking about today? We have no topic. So if you all want a topic for next week, put it in the chat box. Shirley Rayleigh is here. She says, hello all. I'm late joining you tonight. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate you coming to join us. Sarah Ragland is saying hi to Eric. Allie says, I'm going to the website now to get my shirt. Thank you so much for the support. She has already ordered 2 shirts. If I'm not mistaken, this will be her 3rd shirt. But now these shirts that I just showed you, anything that's not T-Gear, you're going to have to email me because it's hard for me to put on my site exactly what I got and all the different color choices. I couldn't figure out how to do it, so that's why they're not there. And what I might end up doing at some point is making a separate video for the shirts. But that will probably be closer to when it's time for me to do the quilt show. Unless I start, I do have pictures of some of them, but not all of them. But I can do like pictures of the ones that I've taken. And I can tell you in the video what other colors you can get it in. Trey says she's working on the graveyard shift now from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Oh my gosh. I remember as a teenager when I was working at White Castle, I worked from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That was a long, long shift. Phyllis says, T, when will you be in Charleston for the quilt show? That's Phyllis Gardner. Probably never. Charleston is so far away. And if I'm not mistaken, Charleston is in South Carolina, if that's the right Charleston. I do have a cousin that lived there, but that's like, I like to drive when I go places, and that's like another like 16-hour drive here from St. Louis. And then if I fly in, I don't feel like I get the full experience unless I rent a car. So then I have to rent a car. So it's a lot. So I don't know. Right now I'm saying I don't know. I'm not going to say never. I'll say I don't know. Never know what life is going to bring you. I have no plans now or in the near future. Don says, I've been to one quilt show in Atlanta. Think it was the Sew Expo or something. I took the Handy Quilter Sweet 16 sit-down lessons. And that's another thing too. Even when you go to the Sew and Quilt Expo, that's not a true quilt show because they are also specializing in sewing as well. I've been to many of those. My guild has even participated as being a guild that displayed quilts. I've also participated as being an individual that went in and volunteered time to help on some of the committees. And a lot of times I would go and volunteer at the Sew and Quilt Expo just for experience, number one, because you get to kind of know what's going on behind the scene. And then, so you might end up being like a classroom monitor or something like that. So you'll be just taking tickets. And then while that class is going on, of course, you can hear what the instructor is saying. So it's kind of like taking a free class without doing the actual hands-on experience. And then on top of that, you also get in free for the show. So you may only have to work 2 hours, but the show is an 8-hour show, and then you get to see the show for the other 6 hours. So that's another good way. And I loved the Sewing and Quilt Expos when they were here, but they were highly more dominated toward the sewing industry, more so than the quilt industry in our area at least. But that's why I still go back and go to just plain old quilt shows if you're just wanting to have quilts only. Don says, but I realized what I'd seen on YouTube and videos work just as well. It is practice, practice, practice. Exactly. Because you can go, I've been to a long arm show at IQF. I went last year. And I can't even remember the instructor's name. But for me to spend, I think it was almost $150, I just didn't feel like I got my money's worth out of it because I felt like it was more of a selling thing. Every other line was, buy my rulers, buy my templates, you're going to purchase something. And they have a whole line of these things. So, when you pay $150 for a sales class, and then on top of that, they want you to buy rulers that are $350, it was like, I don't think I'm going to be taking any classes. Like this year when I go to IQF, I didn't sign up for any classes. And Diane saying, I do too, T. Oh, Eric, you were singing with me? I guess that's what Diane is saying, I do too, T, about us with Eric. Saying, hey. Phyllis says, laughing out loud, T, you need to get some sleep. Fat Albert song. I told you I was going to get slap happy before this hour was over. We got Dora Camarina. She says, hi, T from California. Hi, Dora. Welcome to the chat. Mary says, any quilt room tours coming up soon? Any quilt room tours. I had 3 scheduled and all 3 of them had to cancel on me. So I got a whole nother different person. I need to go back to the ones that cancel, but I do know I have a personal friend who I was having her do hers, and she's redoing her house. So she's redoing floors. So what they had to do was put furniture from 2 other rooms into her actual sewing room. So her whole space is not her quilt space anymore. I had another 2 friends who got sick during that time, and I just need to reschedule. And guess what? I'll be at guild meeting tomorrow, and I'll get to talk to those 2 ladies and see if I can reschedule them. But you got to remember, I'm also busy in April and March, so it's going to be difficult for me to get dates. But I'm going to have to see if I can get dates to re-record those ladies' studios, either them or their family member was sick, and so they couldn't do it. And to answer your question, yes, there will be more quilt sewing room tours coming. I am actually going to be recording one on Friday. Then it's going to just take me a while to get it done because Friday is coming in a couple of days. But then next week is IQF. So I'll be working more towards going to IQF. I'm going to IQF on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at my calendar here. Yes, IQF. I'm leaving on Wednesday. So when I come live next week, if I come live, if they have Wi-Fi at the hotel for free, that would be the only reason I would come live. Then I won't be in my environment. I'll be at the hotel. I'll still come live because I'll probably be bored as all get out. Now, I won't be controlling my time because we're going to be setting up at the quilt show. So it may be later next week. So anybody that can chat whenever I go live next week will be great. And we also go out to eat dinner as a group. So I just don't know what time we'll be going live because my time is not my own. So thanks for that question. Sharon says, hi, I'm late. Love your videos. Hi, Sharon. Sonata says, how about the black one with the sewing machine? How about the black one with the sewing machine? Who is this asking about that? Sonata. The black one with the sewing machine. This one is the one that says she works with her hands in the light. This one is 15. And it can be on this one. I don't know. I think that's the only one that has a sewing machine that I showed. If I'm not, I showed this one with a sewing machine, but it's not black. Trying to make sure because I lose my marbles sometimes. I think those are the only two that I showed, but this can come in black, which is the color that is prettiest, but I'm finding out that everybody don't want to wear black all the time. But I find a lot of shirts look so pretty in black. So, Sonata, I hope that answered your question. And those are not on my website. You'd have to email me at teaquilts@teaquilts.com. How about Maryland? The state of Maryland. So if you're looking for a shirt, because I'm not just going to make these shirts and don't know who's wanting to buy them, you're going to have to email me the state you want, and I can put it and make it up so that it's on the black shirt. If you're wanting something different, then you're going to have to let me know. But keep in mind that that heart's going to be red, or I can keep the whole thing white. But you'll have to email me for these shirts because I'm not just going to make a shirt for Maryland, and I don't know anyone that lives in Maryland personally. I know you, but I don't know anybody personally that I could sell it to. That's why I made a lot of the Missouri shirts. Because why? I live in Missouri. I haven't even made one Illinois shirt because no one from Illinois has expressed interest in a shirt. I'm not making those unless they're actually requested. I did make one for Diane 57 for the state of Texas. Thank you, Diane. Winfred Baptiste is here. She says, hi, quilt friends. Winfred from TNT, better late than never. She says from TNT. She's from Trinidad. But I don't know what the other T is. I'm blocking. Diane says, Eric, if you eat T's pound cake as much as you would like, you would then be a fat Albert. You all are wild in this comment section. Remo says, I'm a sewer and quilter. So yeah, so the Sewing and Quilt Expo would be perfect for people that like to make clothing as well as like to quilt. Orna says, Steve, come back to the rock and roll state, which is Nashville, Tennessee, I'm assuming. And I did go to Tennessee. I went to that quilt show when they had AQS used to have their quilt expo in Paducah and Tennessee only. And then when they start going other places, they didn't do the Tennessee one anymore. They had it at the Grand Mills Opry Hotel. that's next to the mall. You talk about having some fun. We had so much fun. I was so broke when I left the state of Tennessee. And then Phyllis says, if you fly into Charleston, South Carolina, I will pick you up. Phyllis is trying to get me into South Carolina. And I was even talking to ladies today that I hadn't seen. I have a lot of people that I met I'm a member of the Missouri State Quilt Guild. And I've met a lot of people from there, and I know about them from traveling all over the state of Missouri to do lectures and workshops. And so it was a lot of them I hadn't seen in like 3 or 4 years because I haven't been able to go to the state retreat in the fall. That's the only one that I went to anyway because my spring is so filled with Paducah and my scrap quilting club and all these other things that I'm involved in. So it was real great to see some of those people. So everybody wants my time. They got all these different quilt retreats they're trying to get me to come to. I'm like, I need time and I need resources. I need to have the money to attend all these things as well. So it's a little bit different. If I'm hired, I have to like clear out for something where I'm hired and I'm making money. But if I'm having to spend my money and my time and I can't put my time somewhere else, I feel like I'm double losing. It's not that I can't go to everything. It's just that I can't spend all of my money on just quilting. I got to go to Cancun and I got to take me I might be going on an Alaska cruise this year. You never know, I got other things I'm doing as well. So, but I'm not going to say never to Charleston, but I'll definitely think about it. And I'll start paying a little bit more attention when I see stuff happening in Charleston. I can promise you that. I even have a cousin that lives in Charleston. Eric says, hey T, I need to put together a video on surviving Houston Quilt Show for the Guild. Care to comment? A video on surviving Houston Quilt Show for the Guild. Whoo! I think the Houston Quilt Show conquers everybody. And I think some things that I probably would tell people about the Houston Quilt Show to be prepared for is always have a good, comfortable pair of shoes because you're standing on concrete and you're going to be on concrete for hours and your feet are just going to hurt. They're going to hurt. I feel like no matter almost what kind of shoes you wear. If you got some good shoes that your feet never hurt and you stand on concrete, please drop that information because I sure need them. When I make quilt shows, my feet are hurting me by the time I get through that whole show while I'm doing the commentary and I'm still calmly just talking to you, telling you what's going on. And my feet are hurting so bad. So I make sure they have comfortable shoes. And then my second suggestion would be to do more than one day at the Houston Quilt Show. There is no way that you're going to get through the entire Houston Quilt Show in one day. Don't even try it. We were there. We went 3 days, I think, out of our 4. And I still did not see every quilt or go into every corner of that show. I just didn't make it into every gallery. I was seeing so many quilts. I told you all, even in the video, that I'm just going to stop recording here and I'm just going to start looking at some of these quilts because when I'm recording, it does kind of slow me down because I can't like walk really fast past them because I'll have you all tell me, you're making me dizzy. So, and I do understand that from a video perspective, but I'm looking at it. I'm not even looking through my camera as I'm walking. I'm actually looking at the actual quilt. So it's a little bit different perspective for me. So I do appreciate the feedback on that. So, the other thing, you got people that don't like crowds, and you're gonna, in Houston, it's people everywhere. Paducah is still the same way, but Houston on a higher level. So you can't do this with your arms nowhere. People are everywhere all the time. So, just know that people are gonna be in your personal space. And then also bags and stuff, if you're taking in heavy purses, just realize you're going to be carrying a lot of weight for a long period of time. That's why most times I go to quilt shows, I'll take a backpack. I have my camera supplies in my backpack, so that way I'm not actually having to carry a purse on a shoulder or across my body or something like that, and it's not going to be flinging and sliding everywhere. A backpack will make it more secure. And even your style of backpack that you had, Eric, where you could actually roll it as well. But some quilt shows will not allow you to roll bags. They don't want any rolly carts at all. But I don't think Eric ever got stopped when he was rolling his. But just some of the tips right there. And if I think of some more, Eric, I can email them to you. And Eric, thinking of that, I did send you a friend request on Facebook. That was me. I think I saw your comment somewhere. I think you commented I was looking at the last video from last week, and it was in the chat box right before we were cutting out. So yes, that was me. So approve my friend request, please. Let me see. Let me see. My screen rolled up again. Trey says, Phyllis Gardner, are you in or near Charleston? So she's talking to Phyllis. And Eric's still on the pound cake. And Vicky says, a nice cup of hot tea. I think she's talking about for a t-shirt idea. I don't know. I'm so lost. I get to talking and go all off the topic. So Don says, I've been to some local Gill quilt shows, but nothing national. The Gill shows were nice. And a lot of the Gill shows are nice. And again, like sometimes I will go to even rural area quilt shows. And those shows might only show you those hand embroidered quilts. But some of the settings on those quilts are outstanding. And they almost all do hand quilting. Most of them will have white polyester batting underneath. So they're not like my style of quilt, but I can appreciate all styles of quilt. So I would even go to shows in areas where I know that they're going to do a specific type of quilting. I will still go just to support those quilters. They work just as hard as I did on my projects. Christine says, Teaquilters, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. And Trey saying, Phyllis, if you pick her up, I can pay for her hotel stay someplace nice. These two are scheming to get me into South Carolina. They are funny. Winfred says, your t-shirts are very lovely, great craft. Thank you so much. Teresa Whalen, she's saying hi to everybody. Hi, Teresa. Welcome to the chat. And then Eric says, IQF Chicago. Yes, next week. It's not as big as Houston, but it is very similar in style. It's put on by the same group, of course. And so it's very similar in style. It is big, but it doesn't have as many vendors. It's not as big. It's not as big. Let me correct that. It's not even big like Paducah. It is a nice size show. It was so big that it still took me 2 days to video all of those quilts that I showed you all last year. And so, yes, it is a big show. It's at their convention center in Rosemont, Illinois. And it's right before the Chicago skyline area. So that's great for me because I don't have to drive all the way into Chicago when I go. Mary Jo Casey says, I'm late too. What quilt show will you be going to? I just talked about that. IQF next week, next Wednesday through Saturday. So if you all see me, stop so we can get us a selfie or an ussie, as I like to call them, so that I can put you in a video. Paducah Quilt Show is the last weekend in April. I will be at that show as well. Kathy says, are you going to be at the Lancaster, Pennsylvania next week? She says, I'm going Wednesday. I'll be there looking for you. I will not be in Pennsylvania next week. I'll be in Chicago, Illinois. Darlene says, I can use a few project bags for my knitting projects. Where'd that come from? I'm trying to ask the question because I'm so lost. Did I miss something again? Was somebody talking about project bags? I don't know. Eric says no waiter, no waiter, not Chicago, Illinois, Illinois somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so lost. Bonita says, have you incorporated any of the ideas from the sewing spaces you did a video on? No, because I've been too busy. Although I do like the lady that went to the Container Store. That was Joyce O'Connell. And I still got to meet back up with Joyce, thinking about her, because I got to give her back her DVD. And I did like her Container Store storage, and then she had the whole wall unit. And I'm trying to figure out, I think, see, I don't ever have time. And then I got all these trips planned for the summer. Quilt shows coming up, so I just don't have time. I want to revamp my actual sewing room, not this room with the long arm. I want to revamp that sewing room and do something different, and I don't know if any of those storage ideas would work, and that's what I'm kind of looking at right now. Because I have like a TV with the entertainment system in it, and I'm not really using that space appropriately for storage. But that's going to take a whole lot of time that Teajuana don't have. So I've been wanting to do that for a couple years. Hasn't happened yet. But I am loving the videos, and the nice thing about me recording these videos is I can always go back and look at them. And then I also like that Francesca had a whole lot of different storage ideas that she had purchased. So I liked her things where she thought outside the box on some things, especially how she hangs her batting rolls. I thought that was just very creative. Linda DeVito says, hi T from Rockaway, New Jersey. Hi Linda, welcome. I am not looking into any quilt shows right now. I see somebody is asking me, how about Ohio? I mostly go to Paducah every year. I probably would go to IQF because the Paducah is only 3 hours away. That's why I go to Paducah every year. And normally I go just for one day. When all my other previous videos, I go for one day to Paducah. I drive up there. I leave home about 6 o'clock in the morning. The show opens at 9. We go to all the main spots. We end when the show closes. We'll go somewhere and eat, and then we'll leave out of Paducah about 6 o'clock, 7 p.m., and then I drive my 3 hours back home. That's how I normally do Paducah. IQF, it's only about 4 to 4.5 hours away from my house, the one that's in Chicago. And I went last year at the invite of my friend who owns Iowa Star. So I went with Cynthia, and so when I got there, she introduced me to Marion, who is with Fabritique, which is a vendor. And so I'm going back this year to help her vend. So that's why I'm doing all those days this year at the IQF show. And also in Paducah. This year I'm going to be there for the entire days. I'm going to go Wednesday and stay through Saturday. And that's because I'm going to help her vend again. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this same thing next year, because from what I'm understanding, this vendor may not be on the road too much longer. She's talking about retiring. So I don't know what I'll do next year, but that's why I go to those two shows. The other quilt shows that I go to are mostly my local quilt guilds, or they're not my local quilt guilds, but they're quilt guilds in the metropolitan St. Louis area. So that's why I go to all of those shows. And I know that you all like to look at quilt show videos, so I make an effort to do that. Now, we just had a show last month that we had bad weather, so we got ice, and so I wasn't able to go on Saturday, and then Sunday I ended up getting sick and couldn't go. Or Sunday was the day we got ice, Saturday was the day I was sick and couldn't go. So I didn't get a chance to videotape their show, but I try to go to most of the local shows just to support the quilters, because those same quilters also come and support our quilt show when we have our quilt show. So that's another reason I go to the local shows. So I don't do a whole lot of traveling to go to quilt shows because it could be real expensive for me to do that. But I would like to go to California's quilt show just because I haven't been. They have some kind of African American quilt show in the LA area. I was learning about that from Claudette when she came on the quilt retreat last September. Thinking of quilt retreat. See, I'm all over the place. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 8:15. um, we are going to have a 2020 quilt retreat. I will at some point make a different video. And I am only in the process of trying to establish places. And I have been getting a lot of contacts. I do have a Marriott hotel that I need to contact. And I probably won't do any of this contacting until May. And then I learned that there's this lady that's building a retreat center out in, I want to say like Collinsville, Illinois. And she's mostly building it for scrapbookers, but she will, you know, if the quilters want to use it, we can do that. And I'm hearing that it's going to be up like soon, within the next month or two. So I am going to be contacting her to see what her rates are going to be and see if we can also get into her space. And I want to see what her plans are, but if she's going to have it completed really soon, then I probably can just go ahead and drop over and see it. I do know of her. I have purchased some scrapbooking supplies for her, from her, so she's not a stranger. But that's something I'm going to consider as well. So I am in the process of just collecting space ideas of where we can have a Teaquilts retreat in 2020. So start saving your money. I hope you all have been saving your money, because when I do the opening for this, from what I hear, this retreat center can hold, somebody told me 12 people or something. So originally I was trying to find a place to hold 20 people. But if I pick this center, or depending on what other locations I look at and pick, it may be a space limitation where I may not be able to get 20. So if it's going to be first come, first serve. So whoever can put their half deposit down when I post it up and give you the deadline, those are going to be the people that are going to have first choice at the quilt show. Of course, anybody that came to the quilt show last year will also have the right to attend the quilt retreat, not quilt show. Who attended the quilt retreat last time will have first dibs at attending this retreat coming up in 2020. My screen rolled again because it got locked again. Oh, Darlene says, I know you make project bags. Yes, I do. Have lots of them. Rhonda says, the floors are very crowded, plus you have scooters for those who can't do the walking. That's true. She's talking about the Houston show. EJ's daughter says, hello, everyone. Hi, EJ's daughter. Sharon says, I go to the Annapolis show, too. Phyllis says, 13th annual exhibit is 2019 is black and gold. Check out tomorrow's treasure in Crofton, Maryland. And Sharon says she goes there all the time. We got Peggy O'Connor here. She says, hi, all late, but glad to see you're still alive. I'm trying to get off of here. But, you know, I'm real chatty. And then Diane is saying, you need to come back to Houston. And that, I don't know. If I go on this cruise, I'm not going anywhere, because that's going to be my last money I'm spending. So we'll see. And then you got to remember, too, I got my quilt show in September. And I would like to go back to at least one of our state quilt guild retreats, which are in October. And I didn't go last year because I went to Houston. So we'll see. I'm not scratching it off my list yet, but I'm not confirming anything either. Oh, Peggy, I also have your shirt. So I'll be bringing it to Gil tomorrow. So I think your shirt's $15. They're talking about in the comment section various show dates. I'm not going to go through all of those. Phyllis says, T, what days will you be in Paducah? My question answered, Wednesday through Saturday. Sharon says, I want to do your 2020 retreat. I'll stay up all night with you. Oh, yes. That's awesome. I was up by myself. Some of them stayed up pretty late, but then I was still the last one up all the time. I don't know how to go to bed on retreat. Something is wrong with me. It's like when I go on retreat, it's like I got to get all this stuff done. Hope to see you in Houston, Mrs. A. Does that sound good? That does sound good too. Is your retreats in Missouri? The last time I had the retreat in the Hamilton, Missouri area, which is where Missouri Star Quilt Company is. I had to drive like 5 hours to do that, and then we only had 7 people, I think, including me was 7. So I'm not willing to do that again. I had a great time. I do not regret doing that. And I just don't want to do it again because it's a lot of work for me to coordinate a quilt show across the state. I'm on St. Louis is all the way on the other side of the state of Missouri. It's a 4.5 hour drive for me to get there. And so I just prefer not to do that. And if I'm going to have a quilt retreat and I'm not sure how many people are going to show up, I'll feel more comfortable doing it in my own area. And then we can still take road trips out to various quilt shops. I know all the areas just about. I kind of know the road plans, whereas before we were kind of just hanging out trying to figure it all out. So that's why I would prefer to stay in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Notice I said St. Louis metropolitan area because some places that I'm looking for at places to stay could be in Illinois. If I drive, say 5 miles, I'm already in the state of Illinois where I live. So, it could be in Illinois. That's still metropolitan St. Louis area. And Francesca's asking me, do I ever go to Shop Hop? I used to go to the Shop Hops when they first came out. I'd say maybe the first 5 years. And that's when we had about 13 quilt shops participating. And if you're really doing a Shop Hop in the St. Louis metropolitan area, I think we put like maybe 500-600 miles on our car in 2 to 3 days. It's a lot of driving because the shops are spaced far apart. So we don't have as many shops, but some of them are still spaced far out. So it's a lot of driving. Will I be going this year? Probably not. Billy Weatherreed is here. She says, my sister-in-law and I are going to the Houston Quilt Show in November. You're going to have a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed every moment of Houston. Even meeting Eric. Him and Debbie were like having teenage children with you. Remo says, T, you are very informative. Love your honesty. That's one of the things that I try to always instill in my channel is I know it's just my opinion and I try to let people know that this is my opinion, but I don't like to steer people wrong. And Diane, of course, you will be at the Houston Quilt Show. Sharon says, I consider it a victory if I'm asleep by 5 a.m. That's awesome. Kevin the Quilter says, he's here. Woohoo! Guess what? That's whose space we're going to visit on Friday. He says, are any roosters allowed in your retreat this year? Yes, we take people that are not members, and then when I had my friend, he said this year, retreats this year. We have our retreat in February. And then I have another small Gill retreat in my So Busy Quilt group. We meet in May. We'll talk about it on Friday, Kevin, on that one. I don't know which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the Big Gill retreat, because we had Lietta come to that one. It's every February if we can get the date. Sometimes they kick us back into January. But we'll talk about it on Friday. Would love to be a retreat with you. Sharon says, I understand. I'm in Maryland, so it's far for me too. I went to Hamilton in the fall and saw the retreat car. Retreat center. Okay, because I'm like, the retreat car. And the retreat center wasn't done when we were there last year because we were going to stay there. And so since I didn't get enough people, she didn't get the income that she needed. If we had paid half deposit for, say, like 20 to 30 people, she would have had the money that she could have finished it off for us to come. But since we didn't get that many people, then she just gradually put her profit into it. The person who owns the retreat center also owns the Home Inn, INN, Hamilton's B&B, bread and breakfast. So that's the same person who's owning both of those. And Eric says, Missouri is a funny state. 2 of its major cities are half out of state. And you are absolutely correct, because we can be in one place and end up in the other one really quick. And then you can, if you drive what we call our 270 loop, you can actually loop in and out of Missouri into Illinois and back in again. So yeah, it's pretty weird how the state is shaped and how it goes in and out of Illinois. And we got so many entry points into Illinois. It's just ridiculous. I got, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Off the top of my head, I know I got 4 entry points into Illinois just from where I live, my area. Yeah. And Eric says, I was about to say, what about me? You were the highlight of Houston. And he says, I missed that pinball machine. You are absolutely correct. Me too. And Darlene says, okay, Quilt is going to say good night. It is 9:26 p.m. And she is so correct. It is 8:26 p.m. here. She's on the East Coast. So it would be 9 for her. So we are going to end here, but we never did come up with a topic. Well, we don't need a topic for next week because I'm not going to be at home anyway. So we'll talk about next week about a topic. So we'll just be chit-chatting again next week. So if you got something to do, you may not want to come because I'm not going to have a topic like I didn't have a topic today. Again, I showed all the t-shirts. So if you came in late into this video, go back and look at the whole thing because I showed you all the t-shirts I have and I told you about the different options. That's why they're not all on my website at this time. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, please. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me. And at this point, we got to say good night, everybody. Good night. That's my interpretation of Cara Brunette. But I didn't do the ear thing. See you all next time. Bye, everybody.